Hi, I'm Walter Koenig, and you are watching the Project Workbench.
Hey, it's Matt Munson here at the BBC Woodshop for another episode of the Team Tardis build. Is it a build diary? I remember when diary was like a word you didn't use as a man. You'd say it's a journal. Like a man doesn't keep a diary, a man keeps a journal.
Team Tardis, build journal.
Build journal, video journal. So here we are. We have made immense progress, and things for me, for my build, are reaching a close. Ewan is busting himself, rotten, silly, if you will, to catch up.
Busting a gut.
Busting a gut. So there's been a lot of progress, as usual, in between these videos, and let's take a look at what we've got going on.
Overall, the garage is actually pretty clean right now. It sort of walks in and out of states of disaster, depending on what's been going on recently. I, of course, have been doing a lot of painting lately, so I've got one corner of the garage kind of dextered out with some paper on the ground and plastic on the wall, which when I'm painting, I stretch out over to the garage door.
So what I'm doing right now is I am chipping out these tiny little corners in the router detail at the top of the post. Now on the Eccleston box, I believe, they left the corners rounded, because what happens is when you do the routering, the router gives you a nice round edge here as it moves on to do the next part. So I've got my handy dandy chisel and my handy dandy mallet-y thing, and I've just been hammering some wood.
What we have here is a little thing that I sort of thought up as a way to do what we're calling the door and wall layups. And what that means is gluing the facades that we made out of the slats and rails onto a piece of plywood. What it really requires is a ton of pressure, and the bummer is that you can't apply pressure equally, or at least I should say, I didn't have a method for applying pressure equally. And that's why we've got things like the cinder blocks, my Bowflex weights, which is great because if we want to get huge in the middle of a Team Tardis build, we have that available.
Frequently happens.
Yeah, that's pretty much our second part-time job. So what we do is we use a bunch of clamps, and this is actually all sitting on top of a plywood table that I built. And the reason I built that is to give the clamps something to bite into underneath. Otherwise, we'd just be like laying it on the floor. I have seen other TARDIS builders do this differently and probably much better, maybe more efficiently, maybe more effectively. But at the end of the day, here at Team TARDIS, what we're all about is results. And the punchline is, this provides us with what we want, so we'll go with it. Even though it may not be the prettiest, gets the job done.
Wanted to give a big shout out to Mr. Matt Black, the RPF user who volunteered to acquire these for us. What a bro! These are the handles, which I believe are the proper and correct handles, which are used not only on the police telephone sign, but also on the main door. There's the small one. If you want that part number, that's right, I'm giving out information for free. TARDIS builders are hating me all over the world. So thank you, Mr. Matt Black. Team TARDIS is in your debt. This is my lantern, and as you can see in the background, my office is sort of filled with TARDIS accoutrements. Lantern's coming along real nice. There are a couple things that aren't perfect, but in my mind, it's indistinguishable from the real one while sitting on top of a TARDIS. Looks great. Thank you, Philip Wise, for all your guidance and assistance on this. Came together really nicely.
Got a stack of windows that I put together. These were sort of agonizingly long to do. It took me like 5 days to get all these ready. You can see I've got a PVC window frame. There's two different types of plexiglass here. There's a pebbled and then a smooth. And then on the back, although it's still got a paper coating, is a semi-opaque white plexiglass, which will allow for backlighting. And honestly, probably the most exciting bit of progress is this guy. Just turned out absolutely beautifully. It took a couple tries to get it right, but right now I've got the correct handle on, the correct hinges. The hinges are in the correct location. Really, just everything seems to be firing on all 8 cylinders. Or maybe it's 12, I don't know. Again, thank you very much to Philip Wise
for providing the sign, the laser cut sign in the middle that I assembled. Oh yeah, because I contributed. And there's one of the matte black handles in action.